Alright guys, we just hit the 1 year mark and roughly about a little bit over 1,000 rounds. So what I want to do is I want to give you a fair and honest review of my Canik TTI Combat. This thing is empty, by the way, but I want to go over some of the most repeated comments on the comment section, because I put a short video where it was basically sarcasm, but it was just me stating, does this gun malfunction? And you can go to that comment section and read it for yourself, but I'm gonna show you it's about 90% of the comments is about people saying how good this gun has been to them. People saying that they have 5,000 rounds through it, not one single problem. I'm just gonna give you my honest review on what I have encountered with it, and take that as you wish. So this gun has 1,000 rounds in it, and it has only misfire once in my hands. Now, some of the comments, one of the comments that caught my attention the most was by Jake Kelly Customs, because he's saying that he thinks that a lot of the failure to feed and the cycle issues were from limb wristing shooters. I got a Glock 19. He also fails to feed every time a shooter doesn't have a firm grip. And then there is another reply by that comment saying that Honest Outlaw mentioned these, and that has run flawless. So if you don't know Honest Outlaw, he is a great gun channel, and he pretty much, that's what he does. It's just honest reviews on guns. Now, the reason why I got that comment is because as soon as I tried this gun the first time, I let my mom and my dad use it just to have fun with it. My mom is 55 maybe. I don't know how old my mom is, but it's just, you know, she's has arthritis in her hand, and she is 50 plus, let's just say. And she doesn't really shoot at all. So with that being said, when I gave her the gun, I have already tried it before. I already did a review on it, and the gun performs flawless to me. But when she got it, like 2 rounds after she shot, she's like, what happened? And then I'm looking over, and she got what we call a stovepipe, which is pretty much a empty case getting stuck in the slide. It'll be like empty case right here, right? Just stovepipe like that. And I was like, that's weird. So I clear it, I took the gun from her, and then I go and I use it, and I'm bam, 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 no problem whatsoever. So I give her another mag, put it on. Here, mom, try it again. And here he comes again. 1, 2 shots later, another stovepipe, failure to extract. So at that point, I'm like, okay, it's definitely not the gun, is the way she's holding the gun. She is limp wristing the gun. Now, am I saying that every single video that you see out there complaining about the gun, that it has failures to feed or failure to go to battery, is from people limp wristing? No, I am not saying that. But however, on my own experience, that is the case for this specific gun. If I give it to a shooter that don't know how to hold a gun, he will have some kind of failure. On my hands, I have shot it 1,000 rounds and only one misfire. The other only issue that I have with the gun, and it's not the gun because I have tried multiple times, is with once in a while the gun failed to stay locked to the rear. But that is just because of my grip. I am going pretty high on the grip now, so I might be holding the release button, and that might be the reason why. You can see in the comments for yourself, 90%, if not more, a higher percentage of the comments is just people saying this gun run flawless, I got thousands of rounds through it, not one single issue. Now, a big misconception, like it was one of my biggest fears when I first started looking into the gun, was that maybe the people having malfunctions with the gun, it was based due to the optic, like the red dots. Maybe adding that little bit of extra weight was throwing the weight of the slide off and making the gun malfunction. So I was very afraid of putting a red dot on it as soon as I got my gun, but I think roughly about 600 rounds or 500 rounds, that's when I went and put my red dot and tried for myself. And that was when the first misfire happened, so I kind of freaked out for a little bit. But it was not that. I mean, I took the round off and it was solid strike. It just didn't go off. I mean, it was just bad ammo. And ever since then, I have dry fire. I have shot this thing many times. Different ammo. Not one problem whatsoever. The other thing that I keep seeing on the comments is that people are not breaking in the gun correctly, that you're supposed to use the low recoil spring for 115 grain ammo. Now, I look into the manual and I could not find anything that say that you have to break in this gun with 124 grain or higher. The only thing that I can say is right here. It will say included in the case is an optional low force recoil spring, and it pretty much say that with this recoil spring, is ideal to use for competition low power loads with a muzzle velocity around 1,000 feet per second. So anything with 1,000 feet per second or lower, it will use that low force recoil spring that they give you, the extra spring. Now, for factory ammunition around 1,150 feet per second or higher, please use the original spring installed, which is what I have. I have never changed the spring. I use 115 grain on my gun, and like I say, it has never failed. Now, if you go to Google, you can put what's the velocity of 115 grain ammo for 9mm, and it will pretty much tell you that the average is like 1,150. So I don't see why people saying that you have to use 124 grain. And if I'm wrong, please just go ahead and tell me that, hey, this is where you say that, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you my own experience. There is some other comments of people saying you have to use good ammo because cheap ammo is just not gonna cut it for the gun. A lot of people complaining about Winchester. I have used Winchester on these. I have used 115 grain the most and 124 grain here and there, but mostly 115. Same recoil spring. I have used Winchester, and I'll also use Monarch. Monarch is what I can find in Academy Sports. It's cheap. I don't consider that expensive ammunition, but it's what I've been using. And to be honest with you, if one round is gonna fail after 1,000 rounds, I think that's a pretty good average, if you ask me. I also see a lot of comments from people saying, man, I love the gun, I love the way this thing looks, and for the price I think it's great. However, I'm afraid to get it because all these videos saying that the gun malfunction or that the gun have issues. That's why I think that some of them might be operator error. I'm not saying that all of them are, but in my experience it is operator error. This gun is it has a compensator on it and it's ported, so if you don't have a solid grip on it, yes, the gun will fail. I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying, because I know a lot of people are gonna come and fight about it, I am not saying that every single video that you see out there of people complaining that this gun malfunction is because the operator error. Okay, maybe some of them, maybe a batch of them came defective, I don't know. What I know is that on my experience it hasn't failed, so I will recommend this thing to anyone that asks me. I actually love this gun so much that I'm gonna try competing with it. Is it the best competition gun? Absolutely not. The reason why is you're gonna be competing against people that have not a compensator but a muzzle brake on their gun. Their gun is gonna be like stupid flat, almost like shooting a 22, and this is not like shooting a 22. It shoots pretty flat, but not like those guns that you're gonna see in open. So there is that. That's all I have for you today. Let me know in the comments what your experience is with this gun, if it's good or bad. I just want to know.